What's the first city in Vietnam that comes to your mind when you think of the cheapest coastal city in Vietnam? For 70% of you, I'm sure you chose Da Nang, Vietnam. And while that may have been true in the past, it certainly isn't the truth anymore. Welcome to Nha Trang, Vietnam. The absolute best bang for your buck you can get from a coastal city while not losing out on any amenities you've come accustomed to at home. As someone that has lived in the city for quite some time now, how much does it actually cost? And what do I love and hate about this beautiful city? Now let's get the big one out the way, the low cost of living. I'm going to make this very simple for you. Can you live on $500 a month here? Yes. Are you going to live like a king? No. Now you can get a place, a studio here, probably about 5 minutes outside of the center for about $130 US. It'll come with a kitchen, probably not a balcony, and it'll be rather basic. You have a washing machine. But $130 US a month, that is insane. Now, if you want to live in the tourist center, one of the tourist centers, there are two of them in this city. There is the north and then there is the center. The north, if you want a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom on the beach with a beach view and nice living, which I have done, I've filmed this apartment, it will cost you about $320 US a month. And if you want to live in the other center, it's a little bit more expensive. It's about 6 million to 7 million VND. I don't have it off the top of my head, but I will convert it on the screen for you. So let's just say you spend $200 on accommodation. Now you can get food for $1 to $3 a meal if you want to eat local. If you want to eat Western, your Western prices are looking at about $1.50 to about $4. Now, if you don't know what you're doing in this city and you go to the exact tourist center and you hit the tourist traps, you are going to pay a lot of money. That's like anywhere else in the world. But if you just walk 5 steps away, you will find a much better deal. But food shouldn't cost you a whole lot of money. A taxi anywhere around the city is probably going to cost you around $1 to $3 if you're going rather far. If you like beer, you can get a 500ml bottle of beer at a bar or a restaurant for approximately 50 cents, and it ranges up to about $2. If you want a draft beer, it can get a bit more expensive, probably about $1 to $2. In terms of hotels, it's the best value in Vietnam. You can get a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, front facing the beach, high floor, 35 floors up for about $25 a night. Now you can get one with pools on the roof. The value is just insane here. If you want me to do a full cost breakdown though of this city, please hit the like and subscribe, and then I'll get onto it and I'll break down the whole cost of how much it costs to live here, how much I spend a month, and what the different levels are. So the budget, the medium, and the really high earning. I think it would shock you of how cheap you can get your lifestyle down to. Now, another big love is, especially as I look out the window, which you can't see behind me, is typhoons do not hit here. Currently, it has been raining and lightning. But typhoon hits north probably a couple of weeks ago, and south they hit about a month ago. Typhoons don't normally hit here, which is a great thing. And on top of that, it doesn't really rain that much, despite me looking out the window and seeing it raining a lot, which is a good thing. But I do actually like the rain, so it doesn't bother me too much. But when I lived in Da Nang in the raining season, I was drenched pretty much 24/7. I was going out a lot though, and I didn't use taxis, walking around excited, checking the place out. But it doesn't get like that here. But when the rain does clear up, it's the beaches. The beaches are absolutely stunning here. You got the one in the center, which is a really big, long stretch one. And you got the one in the north, which is like a cove. It's this beautiful cove, and you can go snorkeling. The waves aren't very rough here, which is nice if you have family or you're beginning swimming. You don't have to worry about that. You can also swim across the beach. There's no lifeguards or anyone blowing whistles telling you that you can't swim there, which is a problem in some other cities. As well as there are islands all across the distance, beautiful islands, and you can actually take tours to them and go snorkeling out there. There's an amusement park, or essentially like a theme park on an island. You can go do that, have a great day out. There's a lot of things to do when it comes to revolving around the beach and the different islands. And also, big thank you to the new 2 community members that have supported me on Buy Me a Coffee as well as my YouTube subscription. I appreciate it a lot, and if you'd like to do the same, the links are down below. Cheers. What I really love about this city is it has these really different feeling areas. So you've got the center, which is tourism and it's chaos and it's people everywhere and it's wild. Great for partying and just relaxing. It's kind of just a mix of all different things. And then you've got the north where pretty much all of us live. We try to stay away from it. It's so chill, it's relaxed, there's all the families out. I mean, it's a very local area as well as a Russian community. It's kind of like Russians and Vietnamese living close together. And of course, there are us English-speaking expats. But a lot of the English-speaking expats actually live in a completely different area, which is more close to the expat pubs in the center. But then you also have the very far south of Nha Trang, which is basically very local and it is extremely cheap there. And let's go back to the center for a second. Let's talk about the clubbing. So for a small city this size, it doesn't feel small, trust me, when you arrive here. There's a lot of clubbing, there's a lot of bars. If you like girls, going out to meet girls, definitely can do that here. There's a lot of things going on. Now, are you going to expect it to be like some crazy red light district in Amsterdam? Of course not. You got to temper your expectations a little bit. But there's a lot of stuff to do. You can have a great night out here. And that's what I love about it. And you can spend quite a bit of money on some like really expensive kind of rooftop bars, or you can kind of go more the cheaper places. Just really depends on what you want to do. Another big love I have is the walkability factor. After coming from Da Nang, Vietnam, where you cannot walk anywhere essentially besides the An Thung neighborhood, which is just basically 5 roads or 6 roads with a couple of restaurants on it, you're walking on the road majority of the time because they put scooters all across the footpaths. In Nha Trang, you can walk pretty much everywhere, unless you're going down back alleys, of course. They are huge footpaths. Nha Trang is a very developed city. The construction is pretty much done. Now, in terms of construction that isn't done is further behind me where I'm sitting, even further north. They are pumping a ton of money behind me in new development areas because this place is growing rapidly. But everything's done. You can walk and I don't feel like I'm going to get hit by a scooter because I have to walk on the road. Now let's talk about my hates. Hate is a bit of a strong word. So some things I do hate and some I dislike. This is a dislike. The English expat community scene is not huge here. There is definitely one. I have bumped into them multiple times. There's many groups and they're very friendly, nice people. Lots of them have been here for many, many, many years, but we are outnumbered by the Russian expat community. And here is a dislike that some of you will have. I have to mention it. It does not bother me personally at all. Is if you do not like Russians, do not come here. You are going to see signage in Russian, menus in Russian, everything is in Russian, you're going to hear Russian. First thing you're going to hear the most is Vietnamese, the second thing you're going to hear the most is Russian. English is not going to be widely spoken when it comes to people walking down the road. Everyone in the stores though, in terms of service, does speak English typically, unless you're going to local mum and pop stores, of course. But if you do not like Russians for whatever reasons, I see you guys always typing in the comments, Marcus, there are too many Russians. And typically a lot of these people that are saying that have never actually lived alongside of Russians, which blows my mind. I've lived in multiple cities around the world with basically only Russians, and I've never had any issues. I've always been treated respectfully. I have some of my best friends are Russian. They're great to me. I understand there are cultural differences and they don't smile all the time in public, but that doesn't bother me. Now, it can feel very touristy here. In the center, you're going to see people dressed up, typical tourists, beautiful dresses on. They're here to splash tons of money and they're here to have a good time. But if you don't like that, come to the north, go to the south, go to one of the different areas. For me, I kind of like it. It's funny because you get to watch the people taking the pictures and everything and having a great time. It's nice to see people having a good time, so it doesn't bother me too much unless people are getting in my way. Probably the biggest issue for me, which doesn't happen too often, is the big groups of tourists which kind of just block up a road and they just kind of stand there doing nothing. That can drive me a bit nuts, but besides that, I have no issue with that. But what I do have issue is it's hot, like damn hot. 30 to 35 degrees Celsius pretty much consistently. We're entering raining season now. It is pretty much rainy season and it's still warm. Obviously the temperatures will drop. It's high humidity. Like, don't be wearing crazy, beautiful clothes that have lots of colors. You will sweat and you will look like a wet sponge. You got to make sure you have clothes that breathe. You're going to be sweltering a lot. And this is a big problem I struggle with. But in terms of that, there is Dalat, which is not too far away, a couple of hours on a bus. And that is known as one of the coolest cities in Vietnam. So you have that option. Another dislike I have is petty crime. You cannot get away from this. This is everywhere around the world, especially in touristy places. I've had messages from 1 or 2 of you which have had your things stolen when you've come here. I'm sorry to hear it. Petty crime is going to be a thing that you need to be aware of, especially on the beach. There are different methods that I use to get around that, whether it is if I'm going to the beach, I do not bring my phone. If I have a key, I will hide the key somewhere on my door, or maybe if I was at a hotel, I just tell them to hold on to it so nothing can get stolen. You can also get little waterproof necklaces and hide your phone in there. If you want to take that risk, you can certainly do that. You can also do the bury your bag under the sand, put a dirty nappy sort of thing. I don't personally like those methods. And dirty nappy, let me clear it out before if you haven't heard of this. You put chocolate or something on it to kind of deter people. The thing I don't like about those methods is people are seeing what you're doing, especially if you're burying it. So that's just something to be aware of. Please keep your valuables safe. Do not bring your passport outside of your apartment or hotel. Keep things locked up safe. Put it into a safe, hide it, be very safe. There is petty crime, there is bag snatching. That is a thing that can happen at late at night. Get one of the man bags, the ones that cross you. The big ones is the handbags for girls that come with one strap. If you're wearing them, people will come by on scooters and they can grab them and take them. This is not strictly a thing of this city, it happens all across Vietnam. What I would recommend is try to avoid those bags, and if you can't, at least put it on your arm and stand away from the road. It's not people aren't typically running up and grabbing your stuff and running off, they're doing it on scooters. Visa runs. Visa runs is a bit annoying. You have to do a visa run every 3 months. There's two main options here. Is you have a big bus run, 24 hours. You go to Cambodian border and you come back. What I personally do is I just spend $50 to $70 on a plane ticket to, let's say, Kuala Lumpur, then basically get a rushed visa. You come back, doesn't cost a whole lot of money, and you're back within a day. You can even come back on the same day if you choose to do so. It's a little bit inconvenient. It doesn't bother me too much. I love Kuala Lumpur, and I've got my place I always go to, and it's great. And then my biggest hate is that there is no Burger King here. Okay, if you want to see anything about Nha Trang, Vietnam, click on this video. Cheers.